Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. So, come spend the evening with us. I'm fixing to cook some supper, and then we got some garden work we got to get done, don't we?
Yep.
So tonight, we're having what I call chicken Parmesan. It ain't really like Italian chicken Parmesan. I'm just going to show y'all how I do it. I use my homemade spaghetti sauce. So these are our homegrown chicken breasts. We do part out a few of those meat birds that we raise. And this is one reason I like parting out a few of them, because, you know, it don't take as long to thaw out as a whole chicken. And plus, like for tonight, I just need chicken breasts. So I'm just going to cut it in half so I have a thinner piece of chicken. So we'll just put a little salt and pepper on them. Chicken Parmesan is supposed to have breading on it, and sometimes I bread them and sometimes I don't. Tonight is one of those nights that I don't feel like frying them, so no breading it is. Just a little salt and pepper.
Go back down there and pick some raspberries. There's some more down there.
Is it?
I got 7 blueberries and 2 raspberries.
Look what you got, girl. Been raiding the berry hill, ain't you? Huh? Alright, so I got a little seasoning on those. I got some grease in my pan. And I'm just going to let those cook for a little bit. And I'll do the rest of them the same way. And I'm going to go ahead and cut my oven on to 350. Because we'll need that here in a little bit. So this is my homemade spaghetti sauce. I'm just going to put me a few, which I'm going to save one of these for Maggie. Probably a bigger one. You should just put you some sauce down. Can never have too much sauce. Alright. Little bit of shredded cheese there. Take your cooked chicken. Cheese. Spaghetti sauce. Or tomato sauce, whatever you want to call it.
That's looking good.
Yeah, buddy. Alright. And then, a little bit more cheese.
Can't have too much cheese.
Nope. And then you just let that cook in your oven till it's all nice and melty. And then you're ready to eat it. Serve it on top of some spaghetti noodles, which is how we're gonna eat it. And it's as simple as that. I just gotta wait on this other piece to get done, and I'll pop it in there. We're also having, y'all have seen me make my cobblers in the past, so I made this one the same way, but we're trying raspberry cobbler tonight. Can you see it in there? I made it just the same way, except for I cut it in half because I don't know how it's gonna taste, so I made a small one, not a big one. Alright, well, supper's done. Our spaghetti's got soft. There's your finished product, so we'll scoop out the spaghetti noodles and just put that on top of it and add a little more sauce if we want it. Leftover new potatoes and peas, raspberry cobbler, homemade slaw. So, simple. I mean, I threw that together in like no time. Even dessert. Well, you ready to eat?
Yeah.
Alright.
So guys, it's finally time to plant our sorghum. We probably actually could have planted it maybe a week or two ago, but you know, it's been wet and now it's turned dry on us, and so it's just one of those things we're trying to get worked in here. But we went to clean our seed or separate our seeds from our seed heads a while ago, and me and Megan learned that we need to be better about saving seeds, don't we?
Yeah, we're not very good at it.
We're not. So what happened was the sorghum seeds we saved from last year, the bugs got in them just like they did the popcorn. Y'all, look, when it gets that time of year when we're saving seeds and stuff, I think we sort of just kind of get burnt out on everything, and we tend to just throw it down somewhere or just say, all right, it'll be all right there, and then we're done with it. And
Goal for this year is to do better.
yeah, we're going to try to do better than that. So what we are going to plant is something I'm very interested in seeing if it even comes up.
And to show you where we are, in case you're new here, we're up here at our potato patch. So there's our potatoes and the watermelon you saw us plant not long ago. And you just come right across here, and that's what this field will be.
Come on, Jaden, take your shoes off. This feels good.
So I don't have much faith in these. However, I could be proved wrong. But these seeds are the same, what is it, sugar drip that we plant? The same sugar drip sorghum that we plant. However, I got these from the guy that give us our sorghum making, or our syrup making outfit, whatever you want to call it. The press and the vat and all that good stuff. And if you hadn't seen that video, I guess you can put a link to that in there. But anyways, he gave us seeds as well that have been in his freezer since 2001, I think was the date on them, wasn't it? So I don't have much faith in them coming up, but you never know, they may still be good. We're going to try them and see, because we can salvage some of the seeds of our own that we saved. But I'm going to say there's probably a 50-50 chance that there's good ones and bad ones, because from what we could tell, it looked like probably half of them had bug holes in them and half of them didn't, just like our popcorn did. So we thought we'd give these a try first. I mean, it'll be pretty fun to know whether seeds that's been in the freezer for
20 years.
is that 20 years? That's over
like
20
23
years.
Yeah.
Will actually come up or not. But first, what I'm going to do is take the farm all here, and I've got these discs sort of angled so that they're not going to throw me up a big row or a really tall row or anything. I basically just want something to mark the row, because I will keep it cultivated with this, but we're going to use the Hoss planter to plant it.
A quick update about all this over here. So you see our wheat crop coming up with our straw. I mean, it ain't that bad, I don't think. The watermelons are looking really good though. I'm honestly amazed at how fast they took off where we started the seeds early. I think that was a really good idea. And those seeds that have been in the Kubota for 2 years, there's one that come up. There's one that come up. There didn't one come up there, I don't believe. There's some that come up. None in that one. None in that one. I mean, honestly, I didn't think any would come up, so that's better than what my thought was. The potatoes are really looking good.
So for anybody wondering, I'm using the number 7 plate, and I did drill out the holes just a little bit bigger than what they were. So we'll do a little test run here. If I can hit the hole. See, about 2 seeds fit in it now, and that's fine with me, because who knows if these seeds are any good or not. So if we're putting 2 seeds per hole, that'll be all right.
Look.
Well, let's see how this goes. Here, Jacob, hold 2 of these. You ready?
You want your lid?
No, I'm gonna run it without the lid so I can watch it. Trying to see if it's dropping.
Yep.
Oh yeah. This should be enough seed plant the whole field in that hopper right there, I bet.
Yeah, don't. It's
Don't
amazing
take
how
much.
little it takes because they're so small.
Well, we ended up having some company up there at the field, so we didn't get to finish filming anything up there, but we ended up getting 10 rows planted. And in case you don't know, I don't know how much truth and stuff it is to this, but all the old timers around here always told us not to fertilize our sorghum. You just let it grow.
And we did that last year.
Yeah, we let it grow last year. You can definitely tell where the poor spots are in the field because that upper end grew a lot bigger sorghum than the bottom end did. But I'm really interested to make sure to see if that spacing and everything is good on that planter. So I feel like we've got it dialed in pretty good with that seed plate and that planter. But now we just need some rain. Let us know what you think about those sorghum seeds. You think 20-year-old seeds are going to come up? Honestly, I have my doubts, but you know, it'll be really interesting to find out if they do. So we're fixing to do some work out here in the garden, and we thought it'd be a good time for Maggie to give y'all an update on her beautiful flower garden here. This thing is plumb beautiful.
Look over here. It is full of flowers. The bees and the birds join it, and look, this one has only 3.
Yep. Oh, but ain't got none now.
It's okay.
Yeah, the bees and the butterflies have really been working out here.
Yep, and look at those tree flowers over there. There's a ton of those too. And look at that big sunflower over there.
The big one up there in front.
I called it a king of the flower garden.
The king of the flower garden.
Yes.
Look at that. I ain't seen that one. Look at that one.
I haven't seen her.
I hadn't seen that one.
Have you seen those back there?
Pretty, ain't
There's one blue one back there too. Hey, y'all want to see my blue flowers over here? Look at these blue flowers. They're beautiful. This is probably going to be the seed pod. Look over here. There's some straight flowers over here too.
You know what kind of flowers those are, Maggie?
There's a bee on this one.
Those are zinnias right there.
Yeah, and there's a bee on that one. And sometimes bees come over here. There's a lot this morning. Look at those red ones. Those red ones need water.
Yeah, everything around here needs water.
I know.
We need some rain.
Want to see these red ones over here that are more beautiful? Look. See it?
Mm-hmm. Which one's your favorite so far?
Oh. My really favorite one is those blue ones. You know why? Because blue is my favorite color. And look at this beauty.
We gotta get our garlic pulled up, y'all. It's looking just plumb awful. Just plumb awful. It's a little early to pull garlic. If you go by what everybody says, we've grown garlic the last couple of years.
My cherries out here, look.
Yep. But you usually pull it once you've cut the scapes out. And you see this right here start dying. But they're a little early, and that makes me a little concerned because of our issues we had over here.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that great of a harvest.
Yeah, so.
It's a great thing we got a lot left from last year.
Yeah. And it kept great. It's kept really good. So I guess, yeah, let's get it pulled.
Let's pull a couple here and see what they look. I mean, that's a pretty plant, so let's hope it's got a pretty bulb. I don't know. It feels funny.
Is it rotten?
I don't know.
It's like it ain't got.
It's like something ain't there. I don't
Yeah.
know. It ain't got all the different clothes about it. Well, we'll leave them all laid out here to the side and let them dry. It's not supposed to rain anytime soon. And see what happens.
Can I help you?
Yeah, pull them up.
Look at this one.
Look at that.
All of them? Look at this one.
Now this one looks normal. See?
Well, this for sure don't.
That's rotten.
That one right there looks kind of normal. Yeah, we'll go through them all after we let them lay out for a few days. Yep, apparently that one's rotten. It didn't pull up.
This one's a little squishy. Mama,
Let's see.
this one's a little squishy. How about this one? Look at this one.
That one feels weird. We'll just lay it over here right now.
Look at this one.
That one looks all right. Oh, that one's no good.
No, it ain't. Daddy, this one ain't all right.
It ain't.
What's wrong with it?
Look at this one here, y'all. That one is like, it's nasty. And it doesn't weigh anything. It's like there's nothing there.
This one feels squishy like the other one did too.
Does it? Let's see.
It's split.
Mm.
It's split.
Boy, it's definitely not the garlic harvest we got last year. But you know what? Maybe that's why we got such a great harvest last year.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, this one's really hard.
Is it? Is that a good one? That's a pretty one.
Can I have y'all pull up the potato?
So right there's our garlic. Found something else interesting. I left some ginger in the ground last year, and it popped up on its own. It didn't freeze out this winter.
Yeah, we kind of figured it would.
That one, like, is really soft. I don't know. I don't think, some of these ain't no good, I'm pretty sure.
But I mean, I feel like we got more good than bad though.
Probably.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're smaller, some of them, than last year, but
The size don't matter too much.
no, that don't really matter to me. But I feel like it actually is a little better than I thought it was going to be. So,
Right, yeah. Well, we're going to let them dry out for a few days and see what they look like then.
yeah, it's just them few weird ones. I don't know.
We need to get those out of the yard.
I don't understand that.
That would have been a really nice one, but the skin split on it too.
No, these are right.
See, like this one's rotten. It's got to be. Feel of it.
Yeah, that feels like the one I had. It's just,
It's like a spongy.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. And it's very light, like it doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah, it don't weigh as much as those.
Can I have y'all?
Jacob's bringing a tractor around, and we're going to till this bed up. We already tilled this one, but I'm going to run the tiller through it one more time.
Guess what I found over here where Andy was just tilling at?
Mr. Vole. The tiller knocked him in the head. Sorry thing. Look at him how fat he is because of them carrots and everything else he's been eating. I'm sure that's not the only one, but there he is.
Good enough for you.
It is. Good enough for you.
Big.
Eat my food. So if anybody's wondering what I tilled around right here, Megan, tell
It's
them what we got.
a voluntary cilantro that came back, I guess, from seeds from last year. And I actually planted one, and I don't even think it's over there anymore.
It's
I
barely living.
I looked for it. But this one is like thriving, so I'm trying to keep the blooms picked out of it because these things, at least with me anyway, they try to bloom like crazy. So I just keep the blooms picked off of them, and it just gets a little thicker and a little thicker. So.
And then we just found another one
Yeah,
right there.
I just found another one. And so I'm tickled about that because I love cilantro. It smells like stink bugs, but it tastes good.
It does smell like stink bugs. We just noticed that I think our deer has come back. Well, I noticed from the kitchen window a while ago that our potatoes out here were looking kind of ragged. I was like, they don't look good. And now that we've got out here,
Something's been munching on
we
them.
see why. So,
Tiger, ma'am,
Tiger, you ain't doing your job.
we need to have a talk. It's so funny because we're literally right here beside the house. The deer here, y'all, I know y'all have heard us talk about this in the past, but the deer pressure here is just really, it's unreal. And yes, we do deer hunt. And yes, we do what you do when you deer hunt, but
You can't take care of that many deer.
It don't make a dent in them. They are very overpopulated here, and I mean, just right in my yard here. So we're down here now at our raised beds and our sweet potatoes. We're gonna see, these are all our slips here. Y'all saw us plant a while back. They probably been in the ground, what, 2 months?
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see how many slips we get off of them.
I am too.
Or interested to see. I don't know if it'll be as many as it looks like.
So you can do this 2 different ways. You can just pull the potato up out of the ground and stick the potato back in once you pull the slips off. And that's what we've always done. But we had a viewer last year who recommended us just break them off of the potato in the ground. Leave the potato there, don't disturb the potato, and it'll make slips back faster. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do this year. That's 1 slip coming off the potato we put in the ground. There's another one. You got a few little roots on it.
Got good roots on it, yeah.
I can probably actually make 2 out of that one, but we'll leave it as 1. So we have Beauregards, is that right? Beauregards, and then some type of purple sweet potato in here. I don't know the name of it.
Well, little man's gonna give you an update on what his garden's looking like, and he's been doing pretty good, keeping the weeds out himself and coming out here checking on his stuff. So what do you got?
Come look at this tomato over here. Look at that.
And now what kind of tomatoes did you plant?
Better boys.
That's right. That's a good looking tomato there, Jacob.
Yeah. About a week ago, that thing was that small.
It's amazing how fast they grow, ain't it?
Yeah.
What else you got?
Cucumbers.
They're looking good.
My beans look like they're gonna have, they already do have blooms on them.
Looky there. They sure do. I didn't know you already had blooms on. You gonna have green beans before I do.
I don't see no blooms on the cucumber.
And these tomato plants right here,
These tomato plants got blooms all over them.
they're huge.
And they got little tomatoes. Blooms.
You've really been doing a good job taking care of these.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're gonna beat me on the green beans.
I'm gonna beat you on the tomatoes too.
Yeah, I believe you are.
I might beat you on the cucumbers.
You think so?
Maybe.
Well, your cucumber plants look really good though.
Yeah. I don't see no.
Right there's some babies.
That's one of the ones that we replanted with the other kind of cucumber. I think these tomato plants over here, them are just focusing on the plant. These are actually focusing on the tomato.
I gotcha.
Because them didn't start having a tomato until that one already had a tomato that big.
Very true. Yeah, you're gonna have a tomato before you know it.
Uh-huh.
And that cucumber plant right there is really big. This
Yeah.
one.
And look, they're doing what I thought it would do. They're running up the.
Yeah, he's climbing the fence, ain't he?
Uh-huh. But it ain't wrapping around.
Oh, it will. Give it time.
Yeah.
Well, everything looks good, Jacob.
Yeah. And,
Oh, show me corn.
and I'm gonna leave this corn right here. There's 4 plants right here, and this one's the biggest. And I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm not gonna pull it up. I'm just gonna see what it does.
We wonder where in the world that corn come from.
It probably come from. Remember that corn that we had in here last year that we fed the chickens and it
Yeah.
come up?
Yeah.
I think that's where that's from.
You think that's what it come from?
You know. So
May
that's
have.
probably
a Jimmy Red, and a Hickory Cream. Yes, that was what grew up in here.
Well, it looks good. So how many have you got?
A pile of them. Look at here.
Oh,
And that's not even half of them yet.
that's a lot more than I thought it would be.
They've done really good. So I want to show y'all what I'm doing. And I'm going to try to get this up close without pulling the potato out of the ground so you can see it. So the potato is under the ground, the sweet potato. We just literally laid the sweet potato under the ground. I'm just going through and pulling these slips off. And that's what you call a slip. You plant that, and that's what's going to make your sweet potatoes for the upcoming year. Now just look at that. That's a piece of grass. Look right here.
And all these are coming off of one potato.
Well, all right, we pulled the potato up, so let's show what it does there. See how those slips just form off that potato? And we're just breaking them off. And that's making our potatoes. Now we're going to put that back in the ground. Of course, like I said, we're trying to leave them in the ground, but you can just stick it right back in the ground and it'll most likely make more. So I think for right now, let's go plant these.
See where it gets us.
And see where it gets us. Because
Okay.
we've still got a ton more right here, which we ain't got all of our spots ready yet. So y'all, planting sweet potatoes has got to be one of the easiest crops you can plant. Not only can you make your own plants extremely easy just from a regular old sweet potato, you literally do nothing but stick them in the ground. So what we're going to do is plant us one row right down the middle of this. And as y'all know, sweet potato vines like to sprawl out. And last year we had 2 rows in that bed over there, and they spread out so far that they were way out in the yard and everything. So this year I decided we're just going to plant 1 row right down the middle, and hopefully that way we can keep them inside the bed instead of growing out and vining out into the yard. But first, I'm just going to go and lay them down where I want each plant. Roughly about 12 inches apart. Those right there may be a little bit far apart. Right there's a big one.
That ain't no big one.
This one is.
I didn't realize we had any in there that big.
Yeah, I'd been looking at them. I know there was going to be some good looking slips. Must be sweet potato slip weather, because these are way better than what we had last year. But typically, you don't have to do anything to them. You just put them in the ground and let them grow. As long as you got some good loose soil for them to grow in, because you know they are a potato, so they need something good and loose, not no hard packed ground or nothing.
We've tried that before, ain't we?
Yeah, and it didn't work. So I think that's going to be enough on that row. If I was only going to plant 1 crop, I couldn't plant anything else but that 1 crop. It would be sweet potatoes, because they store well. They're extremely easy to grow. They are easy to, I mean, once you start once you have a sweet potato, you literally have what you need for the rest of your days. You know, you keep a sweet potato, you take whatever potatoes you have left, put them in the ground, start you some slips, your next crop's ready to grow for the next year. So, you know, and not only that, they're what most consider like a superfood. They're packed full of nutrients and vitamins and everything else. So, all you got to do to put these things in the ground, I like to poke me a little bit of a hole.
Daddy, you poked a hole, I'll plant them. Okay, Daddy?
All right, get the roots in there. There you go. Now they're going to wilt. They're going to wilt the first day or 2, but they'll peak right back up. And you can bury that vine, just like a tomato plant, you can bury that vine as deep as you want to bury it. You can wrap him plumb up to here. Some people you'll see, pull all these leaves and everything off. I don't do that. I just bury it. Put it in there. But see, even like that little guy right there, like he's gonna be a good sized potato.
Look what I found that you tilled.
That's a piece of garlic.
Mama, look what I
Or
found.
onion one.
I see.
Maybe an onion.
I do see it.
See it, guys? It's just a little garlic.
Ain't that pretty out across there?
Daddy, you just leave me a hole.
Okay, all right.
It ain't over here yet. You just leave me a hole. Okay?
I got you. So once these really start to take off and grow, we'll come back and mulch them real good with some old hay or straw or something like that. And then we'll just kind of let them be till they're ready to dig. You get the rest of those and I'll go ahead and lay them out on this row.
You still got a handful, don't you?
Yeah.
Daddy, just remember, just leave me the holes as you go on there.
All right.
I was standing here trying to figure out, I was like, what is that smell? But
Is that garlic?
I was standing here beside a pile of garlic.
Now what's going to be interesting is it looked like every one of the potatoes I pulled these off of were red potatoes. But I know there's some purple
I
potatoes
think
in that
they're
bed.
on the other corner that you didn't
Start
pull
out
any
yonder.
off of yet.
Are they?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you have.
I think I had them scattered all the way through that bed.
I thought you had them separate.
Now have I ever done anything that made sense like that?
No.
Look at that. You would have thought
You
I
planned
mean,
that.
that's perfect.
You just planned that just perfect, didn't you?
Yeah.
I take one hole and plant one.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah, we won't get any closer to this tree because it starts getting too shady. So that'll be just perfect. Yeah. Y'all keep them straight. Y'all know I like straight rows. Keep it going, little man. You got it. Yeah, you just poked him down in there, didn't you? Our biggest trouble out here is this bed right here has got Bermuda grass in it. It creeps in from the side. So you gotta constantly come out here, you know, within the bed and pull sprigs of Bermuda. That's the other reason I kind of like tilling this stuff up, because I know it makes it worse chopping all that Bermuda up, but at the same time it makes it a hell of a lot easier to pull out. Part of 2024's sweet potato crops planted.
Winding down on the planting, ain't we?
We are. We really are. The next thing we need to do is put us some steaks out here with some bone sauce on it.
Yeah.
Since we're already seeing we have a deer problem.
Because, y'all, if we don't, these will be gone tonight.
Oh yeah, tomorrow morning every one of them will be pulled out, laying on top of the ground.
Yep.
The
That's right.
great thing is sweet potatoes are extremely tough too. Even though they're tender like that right there, a deer could come out here tonight, bite them completely off to the ground, and I say there's a 95% chance it's going to come back out, and you, as long as you can keep the deer out of them after that, they'll still make potatoes. Now what I'm going to do is put these wooden stakes up by them, and I'm going to show you how we're going to keep the deer out of the garden. For any of you that might be new to bone sauce. But bone sauce has to be used right in order for it to work. You notice how close I'm putting these wooden stakes. And they actually had bone sauce on them last year. That's the black you see up towards the top. I've actually got bone sauce painted on those posts over there.
And they say once it's applied, you shouldn't have to reapply it, but we always do for good measure.
Yeah, I don't know that I trust it being on there for that long. So for anybody that don't know what bone sauce is, it's this nasty stuff right here that's in this jar. You can see right there where we got it from, PermaPasturesFarm.com. It is expensive. However, what is that, a pint?
Yeah.
This pint jar has done all of our potato patch this year. This pint jar has done all the fruit trees that are up there at the potato patch. And now it's about to do this, and I'm pretty sure I've used it in other places too. I just can't remember where.
I think we used it down across the creek last year.
Yeah, I think it's the same jar.
I think it's the same.
Can I paint some?
No, let me paint all this where it's so stinky. What it is I'm not 100% sure exactly what it's made out of. You can see it there on my brush. And it stinks. It smells like, if I had to say, it smells like burnt hair. Is about what it smells like. And we just painted on this stick just like that right there. So this stuff is intended for orchard trees, like trees out in your orchard. You paint the bark on the tree and it keeps the deer off the tree. So everything that you're trying to keep the deer away from, this pretty much has to be in very close proximity to whatever you're trying to keep it away from. But it works. We haven't had the first deer problem in our garden up there this year. I haven't put any deer repellent out or anything like that other than the bone sauce. Now our stakes up there are only about this tall and they're actually covered up by the potatoes and everything now. But once again, like I said, this jar is expensive. So if you go to his website and see just how much a little pint jar costs, you will be blown away. And you'll be like, holy cow, I'm not paying that for that. But let me tell you, if you use it right, it works and it will last.
And the key is to use it right, because we used it wrong when we first got it.
And it didn't work.
Right.
And when we say used it wrong, we assumed that it being a deer repellent that you could have one stake.
We made like a perimeter.
Yeah, we made a perimeter around our garden. And that didn't work because the deer just walked by it. So we got all these stakes covered. And you can see right there how close we have them to each other. And that's about how close they've got to be. I've actually got them farther apart up in the potato patch. And it's working, but, you know, just on the safe side here, we're keeping them that close. But anyways, it's like weatherproof and everything. You know, it don't wash off of those sticks in the rain or whatever. But this stuff is made out of, like, burnt deer bones and stuff. You can go to Billy's YouTube channel, which is Permapasture Farm on YouTube. He's got a video on talking about this stuff. Of course, he won't tell everybody his secret formula for making it, so you can't go make your own. But you can listen to him talk about it and teach you about what all it does. But we tried it a couple years ago, and after we figured out how we were supposed to be using it, we probably wasted a jar because we didn't use it right. But after we figured out how to use it, this one jar right here has lasted forever. And it works. It really does. So I think I'm going to go grab a water hose and get these watered in. And I guess it's about time to call it a night. The sun's about to go down.
Yep.
I got the sweet potatoes watered in, and I thought I'd take a minute real quick to show you how our peppers are looking now. So y'all remember how bad these things were eat up. They finally decided they're gonna come out. Since it's turned dry on us, the bugs have really been leaving them alone. Looks like I probably need to get out here and water. That ground's pretty dry. These are still looking pretty rough, but they're putting out new growth. And it's not getting eat off this time. There's the banana peppers. It's looking better. This one may not make it. It's looking pretty rough. Yeah, it's not looking good at all. So that one we may lose. As bad as they were, I'm surprised we didn't lose them all. It was rough. Here's the rest of these peppers. They're really coming out too. So it looks like we've hopefully got our problem fixed. We've got our habaneros right here. The beans are starting to run up the trellis like crazy right now. And these are the Kentucky Wonder pole beans. They're looking good. This crop of onions that's in this raised bed here is looking good. Then the spoon tomatoes here took it over. I'm about tempted to pull that thing out. I don't know. I got another one down here growing on the ground. Then these tomatoes here are the ones we planted. They don't have no fertilizer or nothing except a little bit of cow manure. And they're planted in all that deep mulch. And they're rocking. Guys, that's just a quick update on the raised beds. Just kind of show you how everything's looking. Everything's looking better. You know, since it's turned off dry around here, things have really picked up in how they're looking. Like, everything's looking so much better now that it's turned dry. Even though we do need some rain, and I would love to see a good shower of rain. Just the fact that everything's turned dry seems like our insect problems have really went downhill since. Well, guys, we really hope y'all enjoyed today's video.
Hope you might have learned a little something. And anyway, we see y'all on the next one.
Go out and plant y'all some sweet potatoes.
That's right.
Have a good one, y'all.
Have a good one.